All right, so enough theory. Let's actually run this bad boy, huh? So let's talk about what we need to actually run that MapReduce job that figures out the distribution of rating types on our actual little Hadoop installation running on our PC. So before we get started, there's a few things we need to install. Unfortunately, the Hadoop sandbox from Hortonworks does not include all the stuff we need to run MRJob MapReduce scripts. It does have what you need for Java-based ones, but again, we just don't want to go there. It's a lot of complexity that's going to confuse a lot of you. So there's a few things we need. First, we need to install something called pip. That is basically a utility for installing extra packages into Python. So before we can install the MRJob package that lets us actually use MapReduce streaming with Python, we first need the pip tool so we can actually install it. So we need to get pip, and then we need to actually use pip to install MRJob. And finally, we need to install some sort of a text editor so we can actually look at code on our little Hadoop sandbox environment. And we're just going to pull down something called Nano, which is a very simple and easy to use text-based text editor that we can run on our terminal. Finally, we'll download the data files and the script itself and actually start run it and see if it works. So let's get to it. All right, let's actually do this for real. So let's actually install what we need to actually run some MapReduce code on our little Hadoop sandbox here using Python. So if you haven't already, go ahead and open up the virtual box from your desktop and kick off your Hortonworks Docker sandbox, just like that. And it'll take a minute or two, so go ahead and hit pause while that boots up if you need to, and then hit resume when you're ready, and we'll continue. Okay, so once you see a screen like this, we can go ahead and log into our new virtual Hadoop machine here. And again, I'm going to use the PuTTY program on Windows to do that. Now I already have a saved configuration for that I can use. And for everyone else, if you're not on Windows, again, you just want to open up a terminal and use SSH 127.0.0.1-P2222 to sign into your local host on port 2222. And again, you will log in as Maria_dev using the password Maria_dev, which I typed in wrong, Maria_dev. There we go. All right, now we're in. Okay, so again, if you're new to all this, if you've never done programming before or command lines scare you, it's okay to just watch, but for everyone else, I do encourage you to follow along and type along with me here, if you will, because you'll feel a lot better if you actually run some of this code for real on your own. Okay, so again, we need to install pip, and we need to use pip to install MRJob, which is the package we need in Python to actually use Hadoop's MapReduce streaming with Python. And then we're going to also install the Nano text editor so we can actually view and edit our code right on this box. So let's get started. So to install stuff, we need to be logged in as root, the root user. And to do that, we can use the su command, super user, to actually temporarily log in as someone else. So we'll say su root. First time you do this, it's going to ask for the default password for root, which is going to be Hadoop, with H-A-D-O-O-P. And that'll get you in. Now, the first time you log in, it will require you to change that password for security reasons. So it will make you type in the current password again, which again is Hadoop. And then whatever new password you want to use going forward, just make sure you remember it. And type it in twice to make sure you didn't fat finger it. All right, so now we're logged in as root on our little virtual machine here. And we can do yum install python-pip. And that will go out and install the pip package, which is the utility we'll use for installing add-ons into Python. So before we can install the MRJob package for Python, we first need pip. So let's go get it. Now, depending on the state of your network, this could take a minute or two. So just bear with it. All right, and eventually you'll be prompted if it's okay to install a whopping 6 megabytes of pip goodness. And of course the answer is Y, yes. And that should come down pretty quickly. Okay, so we now have pip. We also want to install nano while we're at it, so let's go ahead and do that. So yum install nano. Again, this is just a little text editor. Yes, we want it. And that's in as well. So we can use that to view and edit our code. And now that we have pip, we can use it to install the MRJob package, which is the Python package we're going to use for actually using Hadoop streaming with Python for our MapReduce job. So to do that, we can type in pip install MRJob, just like that. And off it goes. Alright, so we have all the software installed that we need. Now we just have to get the data and the script itself. So let's type in exit to get out of root. And now we're logged in as Maria Dev again. Okay, so that's a lot safer. You can do some scary stuff in root, so you don't want to spend any more time in root than necessary. So here we are. Let's do an ls just to make sure we're in our own little home drive here, home directory. pwd shows that we're under home Maria_dev. Okay, so you may already have a u.data file in your home directory, but if not, we need to go get it again. And to do so, you would just type in wget http://media.sundog-soft.com/hadoop/ml-100k/u.data, just like that. Hit pause if you need to write that down. You do need to get that exactly right, or else it won't work. Alright, so now we have a u.data file. We can do ls to make sure it's there. Even take a little peek at it using less u.data. Sure enough, looks like ratings data to me. Cool. Alright. And we finally need this script itself. So let's get that in a similar manner. wget http://media.sundog-soft.com/ratingsbreakdown.py. Now pay attention to capitalization there. It does matter. The R and the B need to be capitalized in ratings breakdown. And off we go. There it is. ls. You can see they're both in there. And we can even use the new nano editor that we downloaded to take a peek at that script. So let's say nano ratingsbreakdown.py. Little trick there. I hit tab there to automatically fill in the rest after I started typing that file name. And sure enough, there it is in nano. Quick little overview of nano. It's a pretty simple text editor. You can just use the arrow keys to move around and type stuff and whatnot. And down here, there's a very convenient list of commands. So those carets mean control. So for example, to get out of here, to exit, I would just hit Control X. And it's probably a lot easier than VI or Emacs, so we're going to stick with nano for now. Okay, we have everything we need to actually run this thing. So in the next lecture, let's do just that. Actually run this bad boy and see if it works.